resonate with every Virgo watching this video. And if you do need a personal reading, all that information is going to be down in the description box below. Okay. Overall energy, Knight of Cups in reverse. Are you trying to avoid a confrontation of some sort? Okay. That's someone who just keeps things within themselves, whether they're happy or not at work. Looks like you're not happy at work. There's something that you want to talk about, something that you need to speak out. More like a confrontation is what I'm getting, okay? But you're being very naive right now. You're trying to avoid a confrontation as much as you can just to maintain the peace. But this is something that's going to backfire, okay? It's going to take a toll on your mental health, and your emotions are going to be absolutely out of control if you continue this. Get some kind of tact, some kind of diplomacy, okay? And get your way out. Get some creative solution if you can. Ace of Swords. You have an idea, or you feel like... Okay. Just let me remove the cards for you, and then we'll have a look at this. I hope you guys can see the cards. Let me just lay them out and then I'm going. Just going to show them a little. That's your overall energy, which I'm going to put here. Okay. So let's see. I feel there's something that you're giving up on. Okay. On your mind, consciously. Maybe you want to expand your career, you want to look into your growth, okay, but there are some obstacles in your career or your business, okay. You feel that lack of growth, you know, you feel you're being caged. This is some kind of frustration, stagnation, okay, that you're feeling, or you feel there is some kind of rejecting opportunities, okay. Probably there are opportunities that are being presented to you, okay, but you're rejecting them, okay. Most of them have to do with going overseas, you know. There may be things that you wanted to explore, but you might feel boxed, is what I'm getting, okay. Like you feel like you need to let your chances go, okay, but you're not even capitalizing on them. Almost like you didn't get a chance to, okay. Maybe you had a chance to go somewhere else, you know, for a new job or expand your business globally or something, but you're turning things down. If you have not recently made such decisions, then excuse my throat, it could be that your frustration and your annoyance with this lack of progression in this current scenario or challenge, it's taking a toll on you, okay. Literally, I'm getting someone who feels like their wings are clipped. If you go to see subconsciously, I feel you're not even happy where you are. You're not happy where you are. You're feeling very unmotivated right now, very bored at your job, okay. Probably your colleagues, your boss, okay. There's like this very hostile, very unfriendly environment, you know. If you're searching for a new position, you know, you're going to probably, there's some disappointment, there may be some negative emotions surrounding your network, okay. Probably you may find that the frustration and obstacles, okay, as well as this feeling of emptiness. So this is already there, okay, in your current environment. Like I said, the frustration. But now, not only are you feeling that, but for some reason, you're also feeling very uninspired, unmotivated at work. The Ace of Cups is also something that rules relationships, right? So it's like probably I'm getting something where the co-workers or your boss can be less friendly, they're less helpful right now, okay? So do what you best, do what you can best, okay? It's like a storm, you need to know how to deal with it, okay. Just find that motivation wherever possible. So yeah, but you're pretty upset with where you are at, and it's all just eating you from within. Right now, I feel that you are looking for the you know, you want clear communication. I think that's the need of the hour, okay. Clear communication is the need of the hour here. This is either you're looking for a new job, okay, you're wanting to get into a new position or a new career that can bring you that intellectual stimulation, okay. Maybe your environment, you know, is not challenging enough. You want something that offers you a lot of encouragement to grow your mind, your skills, okay, and you're likely, you know, wanting to discuss new ideas, okay, and communication. You want very smooth communication, but again, more than anything, I'm feeling having that clear vision of what you want to do. Okay, that's what's coming into the current situation. If it hasn't yet, it will. Remember, all these readings are predicted. Okay, so if you haven't experienced this, you will be experiencing this. Okay, you want to be able to express the vision, that is going to be very helpful to you in the near future. But your biggest challenge out here is that I feel that you are spending more time in your head for some reason. Okay, there is some kind of, you feel very trapped, very restricted, victimized, I'd say. Okay, very helpless in the current situation right now. You're feeling suffocated, and you probably have this huge dependence on this current job. Okay, and you feel you can't change your career. You have that fear of job changes. That is your biggest blockage out here. The immediate challenge is what I'd say. Okay, you need to, if you want this kind of clarity, if this is what you're looking for, your biggest blockage is that you really need to find a way to release that anxiety about your career. Okay, things could be a little difficult. Okay, your vision probably is very clouded from stress or fear. Okay, this is someone who's paralyzed by fear, right? What you need to do is you need to get that hope back. You definitely need to get that hope back. Okay, you need to resign yourself from that idea that you're trapped. Okay, and you need to understand that if you look at things from a more open-minded open-minded view, you are going to find that there are a lot of other opportunities that you were not seeing. Okay, this is someone who's creating thoughts and scenarios in their head, thinking of the worst case scenario. Okay, and that's your biggest challenge, that you need to get out of your head. Probably the scenario is not as bad as you think it is. Okay, because you're not only negative consciously, but you're very negative subconsciously also, and this probably is to do with your relationships within your work, and this is more like where you're feeling that box. Like I said, you could have been okay in the past here, with the Six of Pentacles here. Things could have been okay. There was like this generosity, there was a lot of material help, there was equal giving and receiving. You could have been dealing with people, who are literally helping you out, a senior person at workplace, okay, who was ready to help you achieve your career goals. Okay, a mentor who was very generous with you, and your workplace was putting you in a very high value, and even if it was a new job, right, the changes were even better than you expected. Okay, and if this was your own job, I feel there were good investors or folks that were willing to help you grow your business. So yeah, that all looks good. But right now, with the current scenario, all you're looking for is clarity right now. Okay, and that clarity is not going to come in unless and until you get out of your head. So that's something that you need to do. Right now, you have too much dependence on a job where you feel trapped. You need to break that. Okay, and the Ace of Swords is something which is asking you, like, break free. You need that breakthrough. You need that clear communication, that clarity. Okay. In the near future, if you don't break out of this, because I see you as pretty miserable right now, if you don't break out of this, there's going to be this career stagnation. Okay, you're going to come to a halt. You're going to lose all your chances, and you're going to be very overwhelmed by your job. Okay. So be very careful about that. This is basically, either you're not going to move too fast in your job in the near future, or you can just move too quickly. Alright, whichever, take what it resonates. But in the near future, I feel you need to take a stop of how you feel. Okay, if you are frustrated by a sense of stagnation, then this is because you're going to have a lot of missed opportunities because you're failing to act in time. And that's something that I'm getting, because all out here, right, these are all reversal cards, which means that you're just not ready to take that action. That energy is too retracted. You need to take action. You could be feeling very overwhelmed by what people are asking of you or something like that. Okay, but you need to learn to handle, if you're in a new job, you need to learn to handle new responsibilities. Okay, but it is going to take time and patience. So if you're in a hurry about something, it's not going to work. But to me, if I'm looking in this at this spread, I feel if you're going to choose to stick in this energy, this entire thing that you're talking, that we're looking at, something's going to be a missed opportunity, and things are going to come to a complete halt. Okay, so be very careful about that. The way you see yourself is the Four of Swords in reverse. So I feel you're definitely reaching a point of exhaustion, a point of burnout. Okay, you're gonna reach that point of burnout, exhaustion. because you're going to keep thinking. Okay, I feel here, because in your emotions with the Seven of Wands here, I feel you have this thing of where you need to constantly, guard yourself. You need to protect yourself. Could be from the people, could be from protecting your position, could be for standing up for yourself, defending yourself, protecting your territory, whatever, right? And that itself is stressing you out, because you're not ready to, have that clear conversation. Okay, there's a lot of challenges that you're going to be facing, and this is all in your emotion. That's what you're constantly feeling. I'm getting a lot of, you're probably a little frightened also. Okay, it doesn't have to be anything negative, but what I'm saying is that, you are capable of solving the issues, okay, that you have, but you need to face them. Okay, others may be attacking you, or someone's jealous of your position. Okay, you need to embrace your inner confidence, and you need to proceed without fear. Okay, this is challenges either to your position or to your morals, okay, which is more going to be more common. But if you have the strength to push past any fears or concerns, you're going to be able to stand up for yourself, okay, and your beliefs. But yeah, I think with the Seven of Wands here, it doesn't look very positive to me, because here I feel you feel the need to guard yourself, because everyone's coming at you. You're getting that paranoid, you're getting that into that defensive mode, and that's driving you nuts here with the Four of Swords in reverse here. It's just driving you crazy, you're going restless, you're reaching that point of exhaustion and burnout. I think your stress levels are completely, out of balance. You need to give yourself a much needed break, which I don't think you're getting. If you are in a bed, maybe you're ready to come out, but I feel this is more of like, where you're constantly, your coping strategies with stress are horrible. You're not giving yourself that time, to, you're doing things on your own, which is like, probably people don't know you're on a break, but you've completely isolated yourself, completely kept yourself lonely, so people don't really know what's going on, and it's eating you within. Okay, you need to reduce your stress, and need to take some more care of yourself. Okay, because this is going to affect your health. You need to be more refreshed, more rejuvenated, and take a break probably. But a break does not mean always a physical break. This is more of a mental break to me. Because in your mind, you're on this constant, in your emotions, you're on this constant guard up, like, I don't know who's coming towards me, etc. You always feel, like how they say, right, the people who protect, like people who guard, right, they always have to be alert, right? I feel you're always alert, you're always on guard, and that's what's giving you those restless nights. In your environment, I do see someone who's very stern, okay, with the King of Swords. This is someone cold, but this is someone who's going to challenge you to do your best. This may be someone who's stern, I said, okay, but this is someone with very high standards, okay, and they want this in their work. So this could be a boss or a colleague or a manager or a senior that you're dealing with, okay, but they're going to challenge you to do the best of what you can, because they are very true to their principles. This is someone you can take good advice from, okay, and if you do, you'll be able to progress very far in your career. You can also be at a point of a career where you give yourself and other high standards, right? But I'm getting more like, what, this is someone who has those routines and processes, and someone who's very strict and stern, like I said, right? Someone who you may find this person a little cold, a little detached, okay, someone who's very, very unemotional, because they only deal with logic. They don't deal with reasoning, logic. They're very rational, disciplined, very serious kind of person. Okay, so yeah, very strict. But that's someone you keep talking to, and probably this is your issue. Okay, you're probably not expecting this kind of behavior from this person. Honestly, this is not someone who's trying to be irrational or who's a dictator. Okay, this is just someone who's what can I say? Stern. Like I keep saying the word, right? They're very strict. They have very high standards, and they want it their way. Okay, they're not going to accept no for an answer, and they have their own principles. They have their own structure, and if you're not within those, they're going to make your life miserable. Yeah, but in a good way. Maybe this is something that you need to learn from them. In your likely outcome, I feel there is going to be this job hopping that I see. Okay, Page of Swords in reverse. There's going to be either office gossip, which I don't get too much, but I feel you're going to be very unsure about your future career, okay? Maybe you are job hopping, maybe you're someone who doesn't stick to one career, okay? Because you don't stick enough in a place, you don't commit to a career or a job or a business enough to know whether it is meant for you or not. You probably have a lot of energy and curiosity, okay, but in the near, as the outcome in the near future, I feel it's not really getting directed at anything, okay? There's just no outlet. It seems like you can't quite make up your mind what it is you actually want to do for your future, okay? You may move from one job to the next, when you get bored or when you decide it's not for you. But the problem here is, like I said, right, to really get a full depth and the experience of working somewhere, you will need to commit for a little more longer. Okay. So yeah, you do have big ideas, okay, but there is no follow through. There's no follow through, and without action, nothing comes to fruition. So you need to get working, because with the Page of Swords in reverse here, definitely looks like either you're not happy, not happy in a career, something's going to come to a complete halt, and you're either going to leave this job, let this job go, or you're just going to be like, I don't know what to do with this job, and you're still going to stick around because you want to stay in that safety of that job, okay? But there could be office gossip, there could be a rude individual around you who uses the words to hurt others or something, but just be careful, that's it. I don't see that too much. Let's see. What I'd like to clarify is, why is the Knight of Cups in reverse? Why is the Knight of Cups in reverse here? The Magician, you have opportunities, you have everything, you have the skills, you have the dedication, you have the willingness, the power, everything, okay? You have everything to make things happen. But the point here is that there is one thing where it's called an ability, and then there's the capability, okay? You have a lot of career opportunities around you, but the problem here is that there's that unwillingness to take those chances, okay? You're wasting your talent. And that's all because with the Knight of Cups in reverse here, I feel you're someone who, is not being able to confront the boss or not being able to confront his senior about what's really going on, okay? That's a lot of moodiness at work. You're trying to avoid a confrontation, like I said in the past, because you want to maintain peace or you just don't want to go and create a scene, whatever, right? But if something's not making you happy, you better go and talk about it. You have everything that it takes, to make things work out. You have the talent, you have the gift of the gap, then why not? Okay? Tell me, what is this Ace of Swords? Three of Pentacles in reverse. See, there is some kind of clarity that you're looking for, okay? Probably the people that you're working with, right? These people you're not getting along with, okay? But this is the people you're not being able, there's a lot of stress and frustration among the colleagues. Could be a lot of office politics that is really, really affecting you. And at this moment, all you want is clarity. You just want to know what the truth is, and you want a better environment to work with, okay? You want clear communication, you want to focus, but again, I'm getting more of like you want clear communication, but what's stopping you is that there's office politics, like I said, right? You're not being able to get along with people at work. Someone's either, these people, it's a one-sided situation, you're not being appreciated for the work that you're doing, or this is just one partner or one colleague, who's taking up all the load, and the other partner has to suffer, something like that. See, something's making you walk away. You have a very stable job, very stable career, but you're literally choosing to leave something stable and you're walking towards your happiness. That's what I'm getting. So the money may be good here, that's why you're very resistant on moving forward or letting this go. But probably there's office politics and you're just not feeling it in this business or career. Tell me, what is the Ace of Cups in reverse? What's the Ace of Cups in reverse? Why is this on this subconscious mind? Why is the Ace of Cups in reverse here? Two of Cups. See? Like I said, right? There's something going on between you and a business partner, okay? This is a business partnership gone wrong. Maybe earlier it started out very well, okay? Fantastic. You had good relationships with your colleagues, or this was a very helpful business partnership that has gone wrong. Now, all of a sudden, your business partnership has completely become combative. Okay, you guys don't see each other in the same way. There's a lack of respect. You don't share the same goals. Okay, and that's why you feel the environment has become very hostile and very unfriendly. That's your biggest issue out here. So probably you were doing very well with your boss, and all of a sudden, something happened, and you guys just don't share the same values anymore. Tell me, what is the Eight of Wands in the near? Tell me the Eight of Wands in the near future. Seven of Swords, see? this is all, I mean, things are going to come to a halt, probably because you're trying to run away from the situation, is what I'm getting, rather than facing it. Okay, that's sabotaging. Okay, that's sabotaging the entire workload. Okay, you know that probably what you need to do right now is face the situation. You need to talk and have like an open dialogue. But I think what you're trying to do is you're trying to get away with it. If you probably face your issues, it'll be better. Maybe if there's kind of confession that you need to do, okay, then that's something you need to do. But right now, instead of facing the situation, you're trying to be sneaky, okay? You're trying to scheme something. You're trying to be strategize, okay, of how to go around with the situation instead of facing the situation head on. You need to face the situation head on, and because you're not doing it, right, that's where your stress and everything is coming up. It's all showing here. Why the Eight of Swords in reverse? You need to get out of your head. That's your biggest blockage out here. If you get out of your head and you open your mind up, you'll see that there was a solution right in front of you, but till now you refuse to see it only because of fear. Okay, the Tower, something needs to happen. Probably you're scared that you're going to lose your job. Okay, because the Tower is, it is a loss of job, but again, it is also lessons learned. There's something that you need to learn. Okay, and you could be someone who is an escapist, okay, who tries to run away from the situation, and instead of being in an uncomfortable position, you rather shut off, rather keep quiet and keep bearing the brunt. Okay, with the Knight of Cups in reverse, like I said, right, instead of opening up. But with the Tower here, I'm definitely seeing someone who needs to open up. Okay, otherwise it's going to be a big huge lesson for you. Probably you're not learning your lessons, and maybe whatever it is, right, maybe you need to release yourself and you need to let this job go. There's a lot of workplace disruption going on. Okay, this could be a sudden job loss. Okay, and that's why you're avoiding the entire confrontation. You know, you're not happy here at all, not with the colleagues, not with your manager, not with the boss or whatever, right? But you're still trying to find a way out of it, you know, so that you can still stick in this stable job, because you'd rather stick here, okay, in an unhappy situation rather than go out and take a risk of finding something new. Tell me, what's the Page of Swords in reverse? Tell me, what is the Page of Swords in reverse? What's this Page of Swords? Ace of Pentacles. Looks like you do have something new coming up. Okay, with the Ace of Pentacles here. There is a new work, a new business opportunity coming in. But your problem here is that you're not sticking to something, okay, for any more longer. You need to do a lot of research before you jump in head first. Either you're doing the research but you're keeping things to yourself. Okay, you're intelligent, you're an ambitious person. Okay, you probably have this idea of a new career or a new job or a new business, but the thing is that you're very unsure about it. Okay, so yeah, there is a new opportunity which is going to be presented to you, but it's going to be up to you if you're ready to be open to receiving it. If you're overanalyzing things, you're doing the research but there's no action, then there's no point of this gift. Okay, the Ace of Pentacles, it's presented to you by the universe. It's an opportunity. Okay, so if you're going to take it, you take it. If you let it go, it goes. Okay, this is going to take a lot of hard work. Something's going to take a lot of hard work. Okay, you're going to have to put in a lot of effort if you want this, but if you're not going to take action,